I recall watching the E3 2019 reveal of Ghostwire Tokyo. There was no doubt, day one. This scenario of a bad ending that wasn't averted, supernatural horror with offensive combat, in the context of a vibrant nighttime Tokyo, pure Shin Megami Tensei vibes. When subsequent trailers released though, I began having reservations. It started looking like a different game. I didn't know what to expect anymore. So, after a 10-hour playthrough, were my concerns warranted? Did it live up to the promise I saw in that initial trailer? Let's make it known. Briefly after awakening from a motorcycle accident, our protagonist Akito witnesses a dense fog consume the bodies of bystanders. A black aura emanates from his face and arm. A disembodied voice addresses him. He has been possessed. An abrupt Jumbotron announcement follows. Our invading spirit wants to stop him, but requires Akito's body to do so, a task that will grant him powers and protection from the fog that now blankets Tokyo. Obviously, a situation like this wouldn't start in the best of terms, but if it can help us not die and reach our hospitalized sister, we take the odds. It's a cool premise, making a strong impression. Again, the bad ending we wanted to avoid in other games happened, but as events unfold, things are explained. Your interest erodes. There are a few surprises, you can see things coming, which in itself isn't always bad. Story conventions are proven to work, but here, odd pacing and lack of convincing reasoning often took the wonder out of the game. Fortunately, the gameplay fares better but feels unbalanced. One of the perks of possession is that it grants Akito use of ethereal weaving, our magic powers, to fight our enemies. We can use 3 elements, wind, fire, and water, alongside a bow, talismans, and threads to exorcise. They have visual spectacle, but only feel okay. The sense of missing impact, of weight, is felt, but you realize fast having exhausted ammo of an element on enemies that sponge them up. The game has feature upgrades, of slight help, but it never escaped the thought of needed adjustment. I played on hard for context, but the game didn't feel difficult. It only felt that enemies did too much damage. At times, I wonder if I was playing on normal since many parts seemed like a breeze. The balance feels off. Healing isn't an issue. Resources are everywhere. It's stuff like this. I need to wait for either my healing or stun animations to finish. I'm stun locked. It has great ideas that can be brought into greater focus. You have a perfect block. A devil trigger, you can scale walls and zip line, but not a dodge. Man, I wish for that most. The combat needs refinement. The base is solid. Think of it as a canned soda. It needs to be chilled to get that full flavor. One element I never suspected was an open world. A supernaturally stricken Tokyo, at night, is an awesome setting. Who wouldn't want to walk its streets? The environments are vibrant, detailed, and attractive. You reach a new section of the city and fight the desire not to go sightseeing. In doing so, you encounter side quests, NPCs, conversive dogs and cats, and items for gathering. Areas may be blocked off here by damaging clouds, but can be opened up by purifying shrines. If you're thinking typical open world fare in a new skin, yeah, you're right. But the setting detracts from the commonplace nature. Season the main path with sequences out of a horror game, easily making the city the best part of the game. It's visually impressive, although there are elements that may not mesh well. I will mistake that some of the side quests feel like filler or that objects like that car may affect the immersion, but never the delight in being in Ghostwire's world. At this time, the game is exclusive to PlayStation consoles and PC. My footage taken from the PC release. Even when set to a locked 60 FPS, irrespective of ray tracing or DLSS, it never ran stable. On PS5 with 6 graphical modes, a similar problem is suffered with holding FPS. In truth, I abandoned ray tracing when a bug would drop performance precipitously to 20, requiring a restart, and DLSS since it didn't help the issue. The definite cause on PC is optimization, as it is reported to be a memory leak. With that in mind, my criticism is measured since the game is open world and relatively recent, so a likely patch may improve how it runs. but having these great environments with character models that can seem so out of place, it lacks cohesion. That word is operative. Cohesion. Ghostwire Tokyo is an average game, with good and bad that makes opinions fall dead center. Its bad isn't dire, make or break, but something that if invested in could elevate the game to the standard expected by its city and its revealed trailer. The concept is rife with potential. This was an anticipated game of mine, and despite misgivings with future trailers, I had optimism in that it would be a great game, but man does it suck that it falls short. The game as is fun, but it's the sort that may be best only to kill time or wait for a sale. It will have its fans. There's a part of me that wishes to count myself among them. Not much could be done to sway me on its story. I felt little attachment to my characters, motivations that aren't just seen as criteria for a template. The pace of the story, the lack of organic flow, hurts it. The combat looks good and plays with promise, however doesn't reflect power. The damage betrays its flash. You often run out of ammo on enemies that tank hits, at least on hard. If values were tuned across the board, it could easily change a conflicted perception. The thought that won't escape me is, what if the game were re-released or overhauled? The story and out-of-place character models keep making me wish for it. If this game ever came out with a director's cut or enhanced edition, I do feel it can meet the expectation in 2019 that Ghostwire Tokyo's true identity is dormant in code. It would make it an experience to be remembered. Thanks for watching. This makes 3 videos thus far. I'm constantly seeking to improve to become more efficient with the editing process. I did experiment some, hopefully with success. If you like what you saw, you're welcome to like the video. If you find potential in me and what I can produce, you could subscribe. Comments are appreciated and I'll get back to those that leave them. Once more, thank you all and have a good one.